Divorced men. When she expected you to help her after the divorce but you said, "Not my problem." Story 1. My ex, Kara, texted me at 1:12 a.m. like we were still married. "Hey, can you call me? It's urgent." We'd been divorced 6 months. She'd spent the last year telling everyone I was emotionally unsafe and financially irresponsible, which was funny because the only bill she ever paid on time was her nail appointment. I called anyway because I'm not a monster. She answered crying, "I'm at the pharmacy. They won't refill my meds. It's showing inactive." I already knew what happened. She'd stayed on my insurance during the separation. The divorce finalized. The coverage ended. She'd ignored every email HR sent. "So, can you fix it?" she sniffed. "Just call them and say we're..." "No. Kyle, please. I can't go without it. You should have handled it before the court date." Her voice sharpened instantly. "You have to help me. We were married 10 years. "We were." I paused. "Now it's not my problem." She went silent, then hissed, "Wow. You're really going to let me suffer?" I looked at her last voicemail, 3 months ago, laughing about how she took me for everything. "I'm going to let you be an adult," I said, and hung up. 2 minutes later, she posted a vague Facebook rant about men who abandon women in need. My sister commented, "Didn't you abandon him first?" Kara deleted the post. Story 2. The day after the divorce, my ex-wife Mel sent me a screenshot of her bank app. -$47.13. Like it was my fault her balance had emotions. "Can you spot me $500? She wrote. "Just until payday." I almost laughed. Mel didn't have a payday. Mel had manifesting. I didn't answer. So she escalated, called my mom. My mom texted, "Are you really refusing to help her?" I replied, "Ask her why she needs money." 10 minutes later, Mom called me, voice tight. She said she got behind on rent because you stopped paying the mortgage. "The mortgage is on the house she demanded in the settlement," I said. "I paid it for 3 months anyway." That night, Mel showed up at my door in a blazer she used to wear to court. Mascara already running. She did that thing where she tries to look small and tragic. "I'm being evicted," she whispered. "I just need you to co-sign a new place. They're running credit." There it was. Not cash. A leash. I leaned against the door frame. "So you want me legally attached to your life again?" "It's not like that." She grabbed my sleeve. "I'm your family. We were married, and you celebrated the divorce like it was your birthday," I said. "You literally posted a champagne photo with the caption, 'Freedom tastes expensive.'" Her face hardened. "Are you seriously going to let me sleep in my car? You should call one of the friends who told you to know your worth while you drained my accounts." She scoffed. "They're all busy." "Then call your new boyfriend." Her mouth opened, then closed. The silence told me everything. She tried one last angle, eyes wide, voice trembling. "If you loved me even a little, you'd help." I smiled, calm as ice. "Not my problem," she snapped. "You're thriving without me, aren't you?" I stepped back and locked the deadbolt. "Good night, Mel." The next morning, my Ring camera caught her in the driveway, screaming into her phone. "He thinks he's better than me." I sent the clip to my landlord buddy, who just happened to manage the building she wanted into. Her application mysteriously couldn't be approved. Story 3. My ex-wife Tessa used to say, "I don't need a man. I need access." I didn't know she meant my access. My credit, my contacts, my calm. 2 years into our marriage, she quit her job to find herself, then found a habit of ordering things with my card and acting shocked when the bank called. After the divorce, I rebuilt everything quietly. Better job, small house, peace. Then her cousin called me on a Tuesday. Tessa's in trouble?" Like, big trouble. I thought, accident, illness, something human. Nope. It was the IRS. Apparently, Tessa had started a small business selling online courses about feminine abundance. She made money. She didn't save money. She also didn't pay taxes. Now she was crying in a parking lot because her account got frozen. She called me herself, voice syrupy. "Hey, I know things ended badly, but you're good with paperwork. Could you just help me set up a payment plan?" I stayed quiet. She rushed on. "It's just a phone call. You're so organized. You always handled this stuff." That was the point. She missed having a manager, not a husband. "I can send you the IRS website," I said. Tessa's tone snapped from sweet to sharp. "Don't be petty." "Petty?" I repeated. "You told the mediator I was controlling because I asked where $3,000 went. That was different." "How?" "I was under pressure," she cried. "And you're doing fine now. I saw your new car." There it was. My success as her emergency fund. She kept pushing. "If they garnish my wages, I'm ruined. I can't live like that. Please, just co-sign." I cut in. "No." Silence. Then a furious exhale. "So you're seriously going to let me drown?" I pictured the night she packed her bags, kissed me on the cheek, and said, "You'll be okay. You're good at surviving." I answered with the same energy. "You'll be okay. You're good at manifesting, she screamed. Actual scream. You're enjoying this. No, I said, calm. I'm enforcing consequences. Not my problem. She hung up and within an hour, blasted a TikTok. When your toxic ex refuses to help you. People in the comments asked what kind of help. She replied, taxes. The comment section turned into a bonfire. Girl, pay your taxes. Why would your ex fix your mess? Feminine abundance meets masculine accountability. She deleted the video. Then, at 2:07 a.m., I got one last text. I hate you. I didn't reply. The next morning she sent, do you still have the login for TurboTax? Story 4. My ex-wife Nadia called like we were still on a family plan. The car won't start and I have work. Come help? We'd been divorced 8 months. She kept the car. I kept the sanity. I can't, I said. Call roadside. She laughed like I'd made a joke. No, I need you. You know the battery thing. I'm not your husband anymore. She lowered her voice. Don't start. It'll take you 10 minutes. 10 minutes. That's what she used to say about everything I did for her. Like my time was a free trial. I said, not my problem. She went quiet, then cold. Wow, after everything I did for you, what you did for me? I almost choked. You cheated and told people I was unmotivated because I wouldn't fund your dream boutique. She snapped. So you're going to punish me forever? No, I'm just not rescuing you anymore. An hour later, my neighbor texted me a photo. Nadia standing outside the car, hood up, screaming at a teenager holding jumper cables like he'd personally betrayed her. Caption, is this your ex? She's losing it. I didn't move a muscle. Story 5. When my ex-wife Lacey left, she took the dog, the espresso machine, and half my friends. She also took the story, told everyone I was selfish, stingy, the kind of man who won't lift a finger unless it benefits him. A year later, she tested that theory. I got an email from her. Subject line, emergency. Body. My mom's surgery got moved up. I can't afford the deposit. You're the only person I can ask. I stared at the screen for a full minute, trying to remember when Lacey ever asked instead of demanded. I replied, I'm sorry your mom is sick. I can't help financially. She called immediately. You can. You just don't want to. I'm not your husband, I said. Her voice turned sharp. Don't do that. This is bigger than us. Then why did you start the call with, you're thriving so you can afford it? I asked. She froze, then went for the throat. So you're really that heartless? I took a breath. Send me your mom's hospital info. I'll call and see if they have a payment assistance program. She exploded. No, I need cash. I need it today. Stop trying to look like the good guy. That's when it clicked. It wasn't about her mom. It was about control and the audience. 2 hours later, she posted a crying selfie. Some people show their true colors when you need them most. She didn't name me. She didn't have to. The comments tagged me anyway, so I did the one thing she never expected. I commented from my real account. Lacey, I offered to contact the hospital for assistance. You refused and demanded cash. I'm still willing to help your mom find resources. I'm not willing to fund you. The silence after that was immediate and brutal, like someone unplugged her spotlight. Then her own cousin replied under my comment, wait, you mean the deposit is for her mom? Because her mom already had surgery last week. Another person piled on. Didn't you post her recovery brunch on Saturday? The thread turned into a live autopsy. Lacey called me, voice shaking with rage. Delete that. You embarrassed me, I said. You embarrassed yourself. You ruined me, she screamed. I smiled, not loud, sharp. Not my problem. She deleted the post. But screenshots don't get divorced. Story 6. My ex, Oksana, texted me a photo of a busted kitchen pipe like I was still her maintenance guy. Water everywhere. Come now. We'd been divorced a year. She kept the apartment because she earned it. I kept the tools because they were mine. I replied, call a plumber. She called instantly. Are you serious? You know how to fix this. It's literally a wrench. And you know how to call a professional, I said. She tried the soft voice. Please, I'm panicking. I almost caved until she added, if the floor is ruined, insurance will ask questions. And I put your name down on the policy before we split, so there it was. She didn't want help. She wanted a scapegoat. I said, not my problem. Her tone turned ugly. You're doing this to punish me. No, I'm doing this to avoid being blamed when you lie. 10 minutes later, she sent, if you don't come, I'll tell everyone you let me drown. I sent one line, call the plumber. Save the receipts. She blocked me. 3 days later, a mutual friend told me Oksana posted a sob story about men abandoning women. Someone asked why she didn't call a plumber. She answered, because my ex is cheap. The comments roasted her. Or you're cheap. Why would your EX be your emergency service? She deleted the post and unblocked me at 2 a.m. with, "Do you still have that plumber's number?" Story 7. When my ex-wife Jenna left, she took the dog and my grandmother's ring. The ring was accidentally lost 2 weeks later, of course. So when she called me crying about her car being repossessed, my sympathy had a strict budget. "I just need you to talk to them," she said. "They won't listen to me." "Why would they listen to me?" "Because you're calm. You're good at adulting," she sniffed. Translation: she missed having someone clean up her mess without asking why there was a mess. She kept talking fast. "If I lose the car, I lose my job. If I lose my job, I lose my apartment. It's all happening at once. Please, just cover one payment and I'll pay you back." I asked, "How much is one payment?" $800. I laughed by accident. She got offended. "What's funny?" "The part where you said you'd pay me back," I said. "You still owe me 2 months of child support." Silence. Then the rage bubbled up. "You're really gonna throw that in my face?" "You threw everything in my face for years," I said. "This is reality." She tried the guilt nuke. "Our son will suffer because of you." "He'll suffer because you signed a lease you couldn't afford," I answered. "Not my problem." An hour later, she emailed me a GoFundMe link titled "Single Mom Emergency." I clicked it. First donation, $5 from someone named Consequences. Story 8. My ex, Marina, messaged me from a number I didn't recognize. "It's me. Don't block this one." Instant red flag. She'd been blocked everywhere because she used every channel like a courtroom. Long paragraphs, accusations, demands, then a please at the end like glitter on trash. "What do you want?" I typed. "I need your signature," she said. "For the school." "The forms. We don't have kids." So I knew it was not a school. "It's just paperwork," she continued. "If you don't sign, I can't enroll." "Enroll who?" "My niece," she said quickly. "Long story." "Just sign." I asked for the document. She sent it. Not school. A loan guarantor form. My name as the backup payer. I called her. "Are you out of your mind?" She sighed like I was the difficult one. "It's temporary. I'm building my life. You're stable. You can help. You want me tied to your debt." "It's not debt. It's opportunity," she snapped. "You always hated seeing me grow." I actually smiled. "I don't hate your growth. I hate your schemes." She went quiet, then whispered, "If you don't sign, I'm ruined." "Not my problem," I said. She screamed, "You're thriving because I left you," I replied. "Exactly. So leave me again," and hung up. 2 weeks later, she tried to shame me on Instagram stories. Someone asked, "What did you ask him for?" She wrote, "Just a signature." Another person commented, "So, alone?" She deleted everything in 15 minutes. Story 9. After the divorce, my ex-wife Katya kept calling me cold because I wouldn't support her healing journey. Her healing journey was mostly brunch, crystals, and charging other women $150 an hour to unlock their feminine power. Then one day, she showed up at my workplace. Not my house, my job. I came out to the lobby and she was already crying, loud enough for the receptionist to look panicked. "Please," she said, grabbing my arm. "I need you to talk to your boss. They're hiring. You can get me in." I stared. "You want me to recommend you here?" "Yes," she said, instantly hopeful. "You know everyone, and you owe me that after everything." After everything equals, she cheated, drained our savings, and told the judge I was emotionally abusive because I asked to see her phone. I stepped back. "No." Her tears disappeared like a magic trick. "Wow, so you're really going to watch me struggle?" "I'm going to watch you not sabotage my income," I said. She raised her voice on purpose. "He won't help me. He won't even help a woman he spent years with." My coworker, Andre, walked up, eyebrows raised. "Everything okay?" Katya pointed at me like I was on trial. "Tell him to be a man." Andre looked at her, then at me. "Is this the one who left you?" "Yes." Andre shrugged. "Sounds like not his problem." Katya's face went red. She stormed out, and the receptionist quietly asked me if we needed security. I said, "Already divorced, thanks." Story 10. My ex-wife Liza called from the hospital parking lot. "I'm scared. I don't have anyone. Can you come?" For a second, my chest tightened. Liza could cry on cue, but hospital parking lots felt different. "What happened?" I asked. "My boyfriend hit me," she whispered. "I left. I have bruises. They're asking questions." I drove halfway there before she texted. "Also, can you tell them we were still together? Because if they write his name, he'll get arrested and then he won't pay me back." I pulled over so fast I nearly got rear-ended. So it wasn't safety. It was strategy. I called her. "You want me to lie to protect the guy who hit you?" "He didn't mean it," she said, instantly defensive. "It was one time. And he owes me money. If he gets arrested, I'm screwed. And you think I should be part of this? You're good at talking. You're calm. You can fix it," she pleaded. "Please. I just need you to help me control the story." I felt sick. Then I felt clear. "No," I said. "I can help you call a shelter." I can help you file a report if you want. I will not lie for you. Her voice turned sharp. So you're abandoning me. I'm refusing to be your shield, I answered. Not my problem, she screamed. You're worse than him, and hung up. I didn't go back to driving. I called a domestic violence hotline instead and asked what resources existed in her area, then texted her the list. She never replied. But 2 days later, she posted a selfie with the same boyfriend, captioned, "Real love is complicated," and I finally understood. She didn't want saving. She wanted enabling story 11. My ex, Anya, called me like we were still a team. The movers are here. They won't carry the couch up the stairs unless someone tips extra. Can you send $200? We'd been divorced 3 months. She'd taken the couch in the settlement because it matches my vibe. I said, ask your friends. She laughed, annoyed. They're not answering. You know how people are. I did. They were the same friends who hyped her up during the divorce, then disappeared when real life showed up. She sighed dramatically. It's not even for me. It's for my mom. She's helping me move. I asked, why are you moving? Because my landlord raised rent, she snapped. Like that was my fault too. Just send it. Don't be weird. And there it was. Command mode. Like my wallet was still an extension of her. I said, not my problem. She went quiet, then hissed, so you're really going to humiliate me in front of the movers? You're humiliating yourself by calling your ex for tip money. Her voice shot up. I gave you the best years of my life, and you charged me for them, I said, and hung up. 5 minutes later, she texted, fine. I'll remember this, I replied. Please do. Later, my buddy sent me a video from the building group chat. Anya arguing with the movers, yelling, my ex is a narcissist, while holding a couch cushion like evidence. The caption read, lady, we just carry furniture. Story 12. My ex-wife Dasha expected a post-divorce friendship. Translation, she expected all the benefits with none of the responsibility. So when she called crying about her phone being shut off, I wasn't surprised. She'd always treated bills like optional reading. My number is everything, she sniffed. I have clients. I have my life. Then pay it, I said. She swallowed hard. I can't. I had a surprise expense. But you have money now. I saw your vacation photos. I stared at the screen. She was counting my happiness like it was her budget. I said, that vacation was a work trip. Whatever, she snapped. You're still doing better than me. You should help. Should. That word used to be the soundtrack of our marriage. I asked, what was the surprise expense? She paused too long. Does it matter? It matters, I said. Because last time you said that it was a tattoo and a weekend in Lviv, she exploded. I'm not your child. No, I agreed. So stop calling me like I'm your dad. She tried to bargain. Just pay it, and I'll repay you next month. I said, you still owe me for the dog's vet bill. That was your dog too, and now he's mine, I said. Because you couldn't handle responsibility. Silence. Then she went low and cruel. Enjoy your little life. You were nothing before me. I smiled. And now I'm nothing. Without your bills. Not my problem. She hung up. 2 days later, she posted on Instagram, starting fresh, new number, new me. I checked the comments. Her aunt wrote, pay your debts, new you. Story 13. When my ex, Kira, left, she made a big speech about choosing peace. Then she spent the next year creating chaos, just somewhere else. So when she showed up at my door at midnight, I thought someone died. She stood there in a hoodie, shivering, eyes wide. I need to stay here tonight. I didn't move. Why? My roommate kicked me out, she whispered. It's complicated. Kira never did complicated unless she was at fault. I kept my voice flat. Call a hotel. She stepped closer. My card got declined. I just need one night. Please. I have nowhere. I almost believed her. Then I noticed her phone screen lighting up. Texts from a guy named Max. So I asked, why can't Max help you? Her face twisted. Don't do that. This isn't about him. It's exactly about him, I said. She snapped. Fine. I moved in with him, okay? And it went bad. He threw my stuff out. I just need somewhere safe. That part I took seriously. I asked, did he hurt you? She hesitated. Not physically. Then she added, also, you still have a key to my old place. Can you go get the rest of my things? He changed the locks, so she didn't want shelter. She wanted a recovery mission. I said, I'll call you a taxi to a friend's or a shelter. Her eyes filled. I don't want strangers. I want you. You promised you'd always protect me. I promised that when you were my wife, I said. Not when you used me as a backup plan. Her tears vanished. So you're really going to let me suffer? I answered. Not my problem. And shut the door. Then immediately called her sister to make sure she wasn't in real danger. Kira texted me 5 minutes later. You're dead to me. Her sister texted back 10 minutes later. She's at Max's again. She just wanted you to fight him. Story 14. My ex-wife Alina was the type to treat my career like a shared resource. When we were married, she'd brag, "We work in tech." After the divorce, she still believed that we existed whenever she needed it. She called me one afternoon. "I need your login." "For what?" "For the streaming accounts." "They kicked me out," she said, irritated. "And the gym app, too." "You're still paying anyway." I laughed once, sharp. "No, I'm not." "You can afford it," she said. "You're thriving. Don't be stingy." Then her voice softened. "Look, I'm stressed. I'm barely holding it together. The least you can do is let me keep Netflix." "Netflix is your crisis?" I asked. She snapped. "Don't belittle me. My therapist says stability matters," I said. "My therapist says boundaries matter." She switched tactics instantly. "Okay, fine. Not Netflix. I need you to call your friend at that company." I applied, and they rejected me. "You can fix it." "Ah, the real reason." I answered. "They rejected you because you're not qualified." "You don't know that," she yelled. "You're just trying to keep me below you." "I'm trying to keep my name out of your mess," I said. "Not my problem." She went quiet, then whispered, venomous, "If you don't help me, I'll tell everyone you were abusive." I paused. "Put that in writing again, please." She hung up so fast it was funny. The next day she messaged, "Hey, sorry, I was emotional." I replied, "Not my problem." She blocked me, unblocked me, and then liked a photo of me and my girlfriend like a warning shot. Story 15. My ex, Sophie, texted me a photo of our divorce decree with one line highlighted. "Spousal support ends after 90 days. Under it, she wrote, "So you're really just going to stop? After everything?" I stared at the message like it was a prank. She knew the date. She'd signed it. She'd bragged about getting what she deserved. I replied, "Yes, that's what the agreement says." She called immediately. "I thought you'd keep helping." "Like, voluntarily." I blinked. "Why would I do that?" "Because you're not a bad person," she said softly. "And you're doing great. You have a new car. You have a new life." I'm drowning. There it was again. My improvement as her entitlement. I asked, "What did you spend the support on?" She snapped, "None of your business." "It becomes my business when you ask for more," I said. She started crying. "I had to invest in myself. Courses, branding, networking." I interrupted. "So you used my money to build a life without me, and now you want me to sponsor the next season?" She gasped. "Wow, you're cruel." "No," I said. "I'm awake." She tried the final weapon. "If you don't help, I'll have to move back in with my dad." "He's awful," I answered. "Then you should have planned," she screamed. "I gave you everything." I stayed calm. "You gave me stress and took my peace." "Not my problem." A week later, she posted a photo with a suitcase. "Starting over. Some people can't handle seeing you grow." Her dad commented, "Bring the suitcase back. You're not moving in." That was the moment I realized. She wasn't drowning. She was just angry no one was volunteering to be her raft anymore. Story 16. My ex-wife Rena didn't call me for a year. Not on my birthday, not when my dad was in the hospital, not once. Then, out of nowhere, she FaceTimed me. Makeup perfect, voice trembling like she'd rehearsed it. "Hey, I need a favor," she said, before even saying hello. I waited. "My new place has a no pets rule," she rushed. "And my cat is basically my emotional support. I just need you to keep him for, like, 2 weeks until I sort it out." 2 weeks. "Sure." "What happened to your fresh start apartment?" I asked. She blinked. "I upgraded." Translation. She signed a lease she couldn't afford, got caught, and now needed a dumping ground. I said, "No." Her face changed instantly. "What do you mean, no?" "It's an innocent animal. Then take it to a friend." "They're allergic," she snapped. "Also, you're the one who said you loved animals." Guess that was a lie. I almost laughed. "This woman once threatened to leave me because my dog shed too much." "I'm not your emergency storage unit," I said. She leaned closer to the camera, voice low and sharp. "So you'd rather see a cat go to a shelter than help me?" "I'd rather you face the consequences of choices you made," I replied. "Not my problem." She posted a dramatic story an hour later. "Some men have no heart," my sister replied. "He offered to pay a shelter fee. You demanded he keep the cat and pay your pet deposit." Rena deleted everything and texted me. "Fine. I'll figure it out." 2 minutes later, "Can you at least send $300 for the deposit?" Story 17. My ex, Yulia, remarried fast. Like she was trying to prove the divorce didn't hurt her. I didn't care. I was finally sleeping again. Then her new husband called me. Hi. This is Pavel," he said, sounding embarrassed. "Yulia told me you'd help. She said you're responsible." I already hated the word. "What does she want?" I asked. He exhaled. "She said the credit card is in your name. The bank is calling. They're saying it's overdue." I felt my stomach drop. That card was closed during the divorce. At least I thought it was. Turns out Yulia had kept it for emergencies. Her emergencies were nails, handbags, and dinners she'd tag online with #softlife. Pavel kept talking. She said you would just cover it and she'd pay you back when her business takes off. I asked, her business? He hesitated. Crystals. I rubbed my forehead. Tell her I'm not paying a cent. He lowered his voice. She's freaking out. She said if you don't pay, they'll come after me. Now it made sense. She wasn't calling because she missed me. She was calling because she'd lit a fire and wanted me to stand in it. Yulia finally texted, "Stop being petty. It's only $1,900. You have money now," I replied. "Not my problem." She called, screaming, "You're ruining my marriage," I said, calm. "No. You ruined it when you lied to him." 10 minutes later, Pavel texted me. "She's saying you're jealous." I sent him one screenshot of the statement. Charges dating back months. He replied, "Oh, then, I'm packing." Yulia's last message to me was pure rage. "I hope you choke on your peace." I blocked her again and slept like a baby. Story 18. After the divorce, my ex-wife, Lara, acted like we were co-workers in the business of raising her mood. She'd text memes, check in, then slide into a request. This time she came in hot. "My mom's birthday is tomorrow. I need you to transfer me $400. I already told her you're helping." I stared at that line. I already told her. Like it was a threat. "I'm not sending you money," I wrote. She called immediately, voice sweet. "Come on. It's for your ex-mother-in-law. She loved you." She also called me a parasite at the divorce dinner, I said. Lara's sweetness died. She was emotional. Then she went for the guilt. "My mom is depressed. She needs a good birthday. If you don't help, you're basically hurting an old woman," I said. "Then buy her something you can afford." She snapped. "I can't. I'm short because I had to pay for my course." "What course?" "The one that helps me attract abundance," she said, annoyed that I asked. I laughed. "So your abundance course made you broke, and now you want my money to prove you're generous?" She exploded. "You always did this. You always made me feel small." "No," I replied. "I just refused to pretend your math was magical." She hung up, and minutes later my phone blew up. Her mom texting me paragraphs about how I owe the family. So I sent her mom a single photo. The court order showing support ended months ago. Her mom stopped texting. Lara texted, "Why would you send her that?" I replied, "Not my problem." She answered, "You'll regret this." I did regret one thing, not using that $400 on myself sooner. Story 19. My ex-wife, Tanya, left me for a guy who understood her ambition. He also understood her wallet. When he drained her, she remembered I existed. She showed up at my gym after work, like she knew I couldn't cause a scene without looking like the villain. She stood by the front desk, eyes glassy, holding her phone like a weapon. "I need you to talk to my landlord," she whispered. "He won't renew my lease. He respects you. You're stable." "I've never met your landlord," I said. "You can still call." "Just be convincing," she insisted. "If I move, I'll lose everything." I asked the simplest question. "Why won't he renew?" She looked away. "Misunderstanding." That word again. I didn't argue. I just said, "Email me the notice." Her face tightened. "Why? Don't you trust me?" "No," I said. "Not after you forged my signature on the car sale." She flinched, then got angry. "That was one time." I held my hand out. "The notice." She refused. "Fine. I had complaints, but it's exaggerated." "Complaints about what?" She hissed. "Noise. Parties. Whatever. It doesn't matter." It mattered. She wasn't being evicted by bad luck. She was being evicted by consequences. I said, "Not my problem." Her voice rose, just enough for people to look. "So you're going to watch me become homeless?" I answered, steady. "I'm going to watch you stop using me as your emergency exit." She stared at me like she wanted to slap me, then leaned in and whispered, "You think you're better than me now?" I smiled. "No, I'm just not available." She left the gym crying loud enough to turn heads. Later, a guy at the squat rack asked, "Was that your ex?" I nodded. He said, "Man, good boundaries." That compliment hit harder than any PR. Story 20. My ex, Svetlana, called me family, the way scammers call you friend. "Hey," she said softly, "I'm in a really bad situation. I need you to pick me up." That got my attention. I asked where she was. "Outside the courthouse," she whispered. My stomach dropped. "Are you in trouble?" She paused. "Not exactly. I'm just overwhelmed. I need someone to stand with me." Then she said the real part. "Also, I need you to tell the judge you'll vouch for me. Just say I'm responsible. It's a small thing." I felt my blood go cold. "Vouch for you in what case?" Another pause. "Too long. It's just a civil thing," she said. "Nothing crazy. I said, "Send me the case number." She snapped. "Why are you interrogating me? I'm asking for support." "Support isn't lying," I replied. She cracked. "Fine. It's a restraining order. My neighbor is being dramatic. If you come in and say I'm calm, it'll look better." "Why does your neighbor want a restraining order?" she yelled. "Because he's obsessed with me." I didn't believe a word. Not after she'd told people I was violent because I refused to give her my new address. I said, "I'm not going to court for you." Her voice turned venomous. "Wow, so you're okay with me getting a record?" "I'm okay with you dealing with what you did," I said. "Not my problem," she screamed. "You owe me," I replied. "I paid my debt when I signed those papers." Then I hung up. Story 21. My ex-wife, Irina, called me crying so hard I could barely understand her. For half a second, I thought something horrible happened. Then she said, "My laptop died. Like, dead. And I have a deadline. Can you bring me yours? Just for tonight." We divorced because she treated my life like a borrowing shelf. My tools, my time, my patience, everything was just for tonight. I asked, "Why can't you use yours?" "I just said it died," she snapped. "God, you always do this. You always ask questions when someone needs help." I almost laughed. That was her favorite line. "Don't ask questions, just fix it." I said, "Go to a co-working space. They close early," she whined. "And the cafe Wi-Fi is slow. You have a good laptop." There it was again. My quality of life as her solution. "I'm not giving you my laptop," I said. Her crying stopped instantly. "Wow, so you want me to fail?" "No," I said. "I want you to handle your own equipment." She went low and mean. "You know what? You were always selfish. I carried you through our marriage." I stared at my phone, remembering how I used to pay bills while she manifested. I said, "Not my problem." She spat. "Fine. I'll ask someone who actually cares." 10 minutes later, my coworker texted me, "Bro, your ex just DM'd me asking for your laptop and your Wi-Fi password." Irina's next message. "Why are you turning people against me?" I replied, "Why are you making it so easy?" Story 22. My ex, Helena, didn't want a divorce. She wanted an upgrade. When she didn't get it, she left anyway, convinced she'd win by making my life smaller. Instead, I got quiet. Then I got better. New job, new place, no drama. So when she called asking me to help her move, I knew it wasn't about boxes. "I'm switching apartments," she said casually. "Come Saturday. Bring your truck." I said, "No." She laughed. "Stop. You owe me. You're the reason I'm behind." "The reason you're behind is you quit your job to become a content creator and posted 3 videos," I said. She got offended. "It's not my fault the algorithm hates me." I paused. "Did you just blame the algorithm for your rent?" "Don't mock me," she snapped. "Just help. It's heavy stuff. And movers are expensive." I said, "Ask your boyfriend." She went quiet. Then, we broke up. The emergency. "What happened?" I asked. "He was toxic," she said fast. "Anyway, can you come?" So she wanted me to be her replacement labor the minute the new guy failed. I said, "Not my problem." She exploded. "You're doing this because you're bitter." "No," I said. "I'm doing this because I'm free." Saturday came. I didn't go. That evening, I got a text from an unknown number. "This is Helena's neighbor. Your ex is blocking the elevator with a mattress and screaming. Just FYI." I smiled and turned my phone face down. For the first time in years, her chaos stayed on her side of the door. Story 23. My ex-wife, Nika, called me from a grocery store checkout line. I could hear the beep-beep of the scanner and her fake broken voice. "My card declined," she whispered. "I have a full cart. People are staring. Can you transfer me money right now?" Classic. Public pressure. She loved cornering me where saying no made me look cruel. I asked, "How much?" "Only $120, she said quickly. "Please. I'll pay you back tonight." I stared at the ceiling. Nika hadn't paid me back since 2019. I said, "Put things back." Her voice sharpened. "Are you kidding? That's humiliating." "You're the one shopping without money," I replied. She hissed. "You're thriving and you can't spare $120? What kind of man are you?" "The kind who doesn't fund his ex-wife's lifestyle," I said. Then she lowered her voice like a threat. "If you don't help, I'm going to tell everyone you're abusive." I paused. "Say that again." In text, silence. The scanner beeps kept going. "Hello," she snapped. "Are you there?" I said, "Not my problem," and hung up. 5 minutes later, I got a text. "You're disgusting. I hope you die alone." 10 minutes later, "Can you at least send $40 for diapers? We don't have kids." That's when I understood. She wasn't desperate. She was just addicted to the feeling of making me jump. Story 24. My ex, Veronica, emailed me a PDF with the subject line, "Sign ASAP." No greeting. No explanation. Just the same tone she used when we were married and she needed something done before she gets anxious. I opened it. It was a lease renewal, with my name typed in as a co-tenant. I called her. "Why is my name on your lease?" She answered like it was obvious. "Because your credit is better." "And why do you need my credit?" She sighed dramatically. "Because I had a tough year." "Stop interrogating me." I said, "Remove my name." She got irritated. "It's not a big deal. You're not even living here. It's just paperwork. It's legal responsibility," I said. She tried the soft voice. "I'm scared, okay? I don't want to end up in a bad neighborhood." "You wouldn't want that for me." I stared at my wall, remembering how she told the judge I was controlling for asking her not to max out cards. I said, "Not my problem." Her voice snapped. "So you'd rather see me suffer than help?" "I'd rather see you live inside your own decisions," I replied. She screamed, "You're enjoying this." I said, "No, I'm just finally not participating." The next day, her brother called me laughing. "She told the family you refused to sign a harmless form." I asked what form. She said, "A lease." Everyone went quiet. Turns out even her own family understood. Nobody wants to be legally chained to a person who treats responsibility like an insult. Story 25. My ex-wife Mila showed up at my door with a suitcase and the same perfume she used to wear when she wanted something. "I just need a place for a few nights," she said, eyes glossy. "I lost my job." I kept my voice calm. "What happened?" She waved her hand. "Politics. Drama. My boss is evil. It's not important." It was always not important when the truth made her look bad. I said, "I can call you a taxi to your sister's." She frowned. "She can't take me." "Your mom?" She said, "No. Friends? They're busy." So I was the only remaining option because everyone else had already learned. Mila stepped closer, lowering her voice like we were sharing intimacy. "You have a guest room. You're doing well. It wouldn't hurt you." I stared at her suitcase. "If I let you in, you'll never leave." She laughed. "That's crazy," I said. "You said that exact sentence before you moved your cousin into our apartment for 1 week. He stayed 6 months. Her smile dropped. "So you're going to make me sleep outside?" "No," I said. "I'm going to make you solve your life without using mine." Her eyes flashed. "You're punishing me because you're bitter." I shook my head. "Not my problem." She tried to push past me. I didn't raise my voice. I just held the doorframe and said, "No." She stood on my porch for a full minute, furious and stunned, like she couldn't believe a boundary could physically exist. Then she said, "Venom sweet." "Fine. I'll remember this when you need help," I answered, calm. "I won't call you." She walked away, dragging the suitcase like it weighed as much as the marriage. And the wild part? 2 hours later, my neighbor texted me a photo. Mila sitting in a taxi, headed straight back to her mom's house. Turns out she had options. She just wanted me to be the easiest one. Story 26. My ex-wife Sashka messaged me a screenshot of a parking ticket with a big red circle around the amount, 3,200 hryvnias, under it. "Can you pay this? They're threatening collections and I'm anxious." We'd been divorced 9 months. She kept the car. She kept telling everyone she was finally free. Apparently, freedom came with invoices. I replied, "Appeal it or pay it." She called instantly, voice shaking. "You don't understand. If it goes to collections, my credit will be ruined." "I understand," I said. "So handle it." She switched tactics. "It's not fair. I got the ticket because I was picking up our things from the old apartment." "Those were your things," I said. "You took everything you wanted." She snapped. "I took what I deserved." Then she went soft again. "Please. Just this once. You're doing better than me. You're stable." I heard the word stable like a chain being thrown. I asked, "Why can't you pay it?" Long pause. Then I had to cover something. "What? Does it matter?" she said sharply. "It matters," I said. "Because last time something was a weekend trip and a new tattoo." She exploded. "Stop policing me." "I'm not policing you," I said. "I'm refusing to fund you." She tried the final guilt knife. "So you're okay with me suffering over one stupid ticket?" I answered, "Not my problem." She hung up. 2 hours later, she posted, "Men love watching women struggle." A guy commented, "Or women should pay their own tickets." She deleted it. Then texted me at midnight, "Can you at least send half?" Story 27. My ex-wife, Vika, used to brag, "I'm the reason you became successful." After the divorce, she kept that same energy, but now it was, "You owe me because you're successful." So when she called asking me to babysit her nephew, I knew it was a trap. "It's just for the weekend," she said. "My sister has a work emergency and I promised I'd help." "You're good with kids." I blinked. "Why are you calling me?" "Because you're reliable," she said, like it was a compliment. "And you don't have plans." I actually did have plans. A date. A life. Peace. But she said, "You don't have plans," like it was a fact. Like I existed in standby mode. I said, "No." She got quiet, offended. Wow, so you won't even help a child? Call the child's father, I said. She snapped. He's useless, and that's somehow my responsibility? I asked. She tried the sweet voice. Come on, you used to be part of the family. Then she added the real reason. Also, if my sister gets fired, she can't help me with rent next month. There it was. The kid wasn't the emergency. Her rent was. I said, not my problem. Vika's tone turned vicious. You're disgusting. You used to say you cared. I cared when you weren't using people as furniture, I replied. She hung up. The next day, my mom called me furious because Vika had told the family I refused to help a child in danger. I asked, what danger? Mom paused. She said, a work trip. Exactly. I sent Mom the text where Vika admitted it was about rent. Mom went silent, then said, oh, Vika never asked me for anything again. At least not from her own number. Story 28. My ex-wife, Lena, emailed me a spreadsheet. A literal spreadsheet. Rows and columns titled, shared costs, fair contributions, and, my favorite, what you still owe. We were divorced. Legally done. Stamps, signatures, the whole thing. The total at the bottom, $4,610. I stared at it like it was performance art. I texted, what is this? She replied, I calculated the emotional labor I did during our marriage, plus the extra time I spent supporting your career. You owe me. I had to sit down. I called her. Are you serious? Yes, she said, calm and proud. You're thriving now. It's only fair you compensate me. I laughed, one sharp breath. Compensate you for being married? For sacrificing, she corrected. For believing in you. I said, you cheated. She sighed like I was missing the point. That's unrelated. Unrelated. Like betrayal was a footnote. I told her, I'm not paying you for imaginary invoices. Her voice got cold. So you're going to pretend I never mattered? You mattered, I said. You just don't get to send me a bill for feelings. She snapped. You're a narcissist, I replied. Not my problem. She forwarded the spreadsheet to my sister with a message. Tell your brother to pay what he owes, my sister replied. Add a column for damage you caused, and we can talk. Lena blocked everyone. A week later, she unblocked me to ask, do you still have the password to the HBO account? Story 29. My ex-wife, Kat, called me from inside a beauty salon. I could hear hair dryers in the background, like a soundtrack to bad decisions. I need a favor, she said. I said, no, automatically. She laughed. You don't even know what it is. I know it's not my problem, I said. She sighed dramatically. Okay, rude. I need you to pick up my prescription. I can't leave the salon. I'm in the middle of a treatment. I paused. A treatment? Yes, she said, like it was urgent medical care. My hair is complicated right now. I pictured her during the divorce, telling the judge she needed extra support because she was rebuilding her life. Rebuilding apparently meant highlights. I said, call a friend. They're busy, she snapped. Why are you being like this? I asked. Are you sick? No, she admitted. But if I don't get it today, I'll break out and it'll ruin my week. I blinked. So you want me to run errands because you're scared of acne? Her tone turned nasty. You're enjoying watching me struggle. I'm enjoying not being your assistant, I replied. Then she tried to shame me. Real men help women. Real adults handle their own pharmacy runs, I said. Not my problem. She hung up. 2 hours later, her friend DM'd me. Why is Kat telling everyone you refuse to pick up important medication? I sent the friend Kat's text. If I break out, it'll ruin my week. The friend replied with one word. LOL. Kat never mentioned it again, because she couldn't spin a pimple into a tragedy when receipts existed. Story 30. My ex Nadia called me sobbing about her dog. That one hit me. I loved that dog. I trained him, walked him, paid for his shots. She got him in the divorce because she said, he's bonded to me. Now she was crying. He needs surgery. It's expensive. Please, you have to help. I swallowed hard. What happened? She rushed. He ate something. The vet says it's urgent. They need a deposit today. I said, send me the vet's info. I'll pay them directly. She went silent. Then, no, just send me the money. It's easier. My stomach tightened. Why can't I pay the vet? Because, she snapped, they'll judge me, and it's complicated. Nothing was ever complicated unless she was hiding something. I repeated calm. I will pay the vet directly, or I won't pay. Her voice turned sharp. You don't trust me? No, I said. Not after you used rent money to buy concert tickets. She started crying louder. So you're going to let him die because you're petty? That line was a punch. It was also manipulation. I said, give me the vet's number. She refused again. Just send cash. And that was the moment I knew. This wasn't about the dog. It was about control and money. I took a breath. Not my problem, I said, and hung up. I hated myself for 5 minutes. Until the vet clinic in our town posted a photo later that day. Help us find this dog's owner. Found wandering near the park. Same dog. Same markings. Nadia had lost him and tried to cash in on the story. I drove to the clinic, showed them old photos, and took him home. Nadia texted me that night. You stole my dog. I replied, not your problem anymore.